What is up, Pirates fans? We are live. I don't know if we got any listeners, but we're live. Coming to you from East San Antonio. This is my first weekend back after a nice, much-needed break from baseball. I think everybody needs a break from baseball now and then. I took mine last weekend, so apologies for not being there for the team. Not that you guys care about me. You care about Henry being there, but not me. I was not here regardless, so glad to be back, glad to be using these vocal cords again. I don't know if I have anything good to say or not. We'll see. We'll see how the game plays out. But we are ready to go. Looks like Gavin Lux is up for this Kingwood team. It's not really him, but the kid's last name is Lux. First pitch. Parker comes set, and here we go. Swing and a miss for strike one. Parker's on the mound. Luke's behind the plate. Travis is at third. Dash is at short. Clint's at second. Preston's at first. Will's in right. Brenner is in center. And Henry's in left. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball one. Like I said, folks, it was a nice break. We went up to Southwest Missouri. We're going to be going up there in another 2 weeks, so it's nice to go up there 2 times in 2 weeks. Here's the pitch. Parker is quickly ahead, 1-2. Pirates are playing the Kingwood Express. Here's the pitch. That looked good, but must have been a little bit inside, ball 2. Look good from where I'm sitting, but I'm sitting a little bit up the third baseline, so it's hard to tell. Here's the pitch, down low for ball 3. So after getting ahead 1-2, Parker is now at a full count to this leadoff batter. Here's the pitch. Popped up high and foul. Preston's making his way to the dugout. He gets under there and makes the catch. Great catch there by Preston. 1 up, 1 down. And the boys make it around the horn successfully. So they're 1 for 1 on the day. It's a great job by Preston finding the wall and then finding the ball. That's what they're taught. Actually, I don't know if these boys are taught that, but find the wall, then find the ball. He was able to do that successfully. That's hit softly back to Parker. He runs part of the way over to first. Makes the throw for the second out of the inning. So 2 quick outs for the Pirates. Brings up the 3-hole hitter for the Kingwood Express. Pirates are wearing their white pinstripe jerseys, white pants, black socks. Kingwood Express is wearing kind of a 2-tone blue jersey. Upstairs, ball 1. White pants and baby blue socks with baby blue helmets. Here's the pitch in the dirt for ball 2. 2-0 count. Nobody on, 2 outs, top of the first inning. That is upstairs for ball 3. I'm sorry, folks. He called that a strike. 2-1. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's hit hard. Dash backhands it. Makes the throw in time for out number 3. So Parker makes quick work, throws 11 pitches. We move into the bottom half of the first inning. Kingwood Express 0, Pirates 0. Well, folks, we're glad you're with us today. Today's game is brought to you by Mark III Concrete Pumping. Not sure what they do. I'm not actually sure if that's Mark III. Doesn't really matter. They do concrete pumping. So if your concrete needs pumping, call Mark III. They're sponsoring today's game here on KNOW AM. On the Riverwalk. Get to the game than it took me. I'm coming from South Dallas. If you're in the Riverwalk, you're coming from San Antonio proper, so probably a pretty good chance to be here. But be warned, it's hot. It's even hotter on this turf field. I did bring some cold beverages for myself and anyone else who is out here that would like some. It's a hot day for baseball, folks. It's a good day for baseball. Wind is blowing. It seems like, man, I don't see any flags out here, but it's blowing in certainly. I guess kind of from left field for a second. It felt like it was blowing in from right center, but I think it's more blowing in from left. I have no idea which direction the compass that is. Based on where the sun is at, it's probably blowing in from the east, but we'll see. We'll be tracking the sun for you today. See which direction it's actually blown in from. Now it feels like it's coming in from center. Dimensions of this park are 215 to the foul poles and 230 to dead center. All right, here we go, folks. Brenner's leading off. Works out of the windup. That is in there. No. I don't think he called that a strike. Folks, I'm sorry. It's hard. What wasn't a strike was called a strike. What that appeared to be a strike was not a strike. So here we go. That's down low. Ball 2. Brenner's still missing a ear pad in his helmet, but it's on the right side, so it doesn't really matter. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 1. 2-1 count to Brenner. Here's the pitch. Brenner pops that one foul. Third baseman making his way over. He's going to have a chance, but unable to come up with the play. Hit right by the dugout. All right, we're getting reports that the sound is super staticky. I don't think that's spelled right in the text, by the way, but I'm not really sure if staticky is actually a word, so you can probably spell it however you want. We'll work on that. Here's the pitch. Curveball gets left way high. Ball 3. Full count. That's hit to the shortstop. He is unable to come up with the ball, and Brenner's safe on the air. That brings up Parker Greer, hitting from the left side.
What does Abraham have to say about that?
Pitcher takes a long look in, takes a look over at first base. Brenner gets his lead. He takes off. Parker squares around, fake bunt. Brenner stealing. Throw is a good one, but shortstop unable to come up with it, so Brenner's safe. That pitch was outside for ball one. So Parker stands in. Brenner gets his lead. Here's the pitch. Parker squares around, puts down a bunt, but it's foul. Would have been a base hit. Third baseman was on his heels on that one. Parker looks down, gets the sign. I don't know what their signs are. If I did, I wouldn't tell you guys because we probably got some sign stealers on this broadcast. Moved back to second base, but shortstop was breaking away from the bag, and the second baseman was not there, so no throw. Brenner would have been back in plenty of time anyway. Pitcher comes set. He's not wearing his hat all the way. Here's the pitch. Parker hits that one to the third baseman. Third baseman doesn't even look at Brenner, just makes the throw and gets Parker out. Job advances the base runner to third. One out. Brenner's on third base. That brings up Travis, a.k.a. the Rock Jock. Softball chants are alive and well for these Pirates. Someday they're going to grow out of those softball chants, but I'm not sure when it's going to be. Here's the pitch. Travis hits that one up the middle. That's going to get down. Shortstop unable to field it cleanly, and Travis is safe. Brenner scores, and we're going to give Travis a base hit on that. Catcher calls time, makes his way out to the mound. He's probably going to tell the pitcher, hey, man, you're good. Just throw some strikes.
I just can't wait for Daryl. Daryl's my favorite. Is Daryl back? Daryl's my favorite player.
All right, KP Kelby Pittman is at the plate. He's got batting gloves on. Throw over to first base is not in time. All right, breaking out the first cold drink of the day. It's a hop water. I'll keep you posted on what I'm consuming beverage-wise. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Travis steals, throws into center field. Catcher's got an arm. But so far his middle infield has not been able to catch the ball. So I'm drinking a Lagunitas hop water. Hoppy Refresher is what it's officially called. There's a lot of good hop waters out there. If you haven't tried them, you should give them a shot. Pitcher steps off, wipes his brow. His hat's not all the way on. I'm afraid that at some point he's going to throw so hard his hat falls off. That hasn't happened yet. Here's the pitch upstairs for ball two. Travis is on second base. Second baseman's kind of holding him on. Pitcher takes a couple looks back. He's throwing the second. Throws on the second base side of the bag, so was never going to have a chance at getting Travis out. Kelby's got a 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. Nope. Fooled me. Travis doesn't have a huge lead, so I'm not sure why the pitcher continues throwing back over there, but I'd be more focused on throwing strikes. If I was an 11-year-old, say that. Probably wouldn't. Probably be worried about the base runner just as much as he is. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Kelby a little bit behind that fastball. Look for a curveball here, folks. Here's the pitch. Nope, fastball upstairs. I said look for a curveball because one of the dads is saying throw it, throw it. 3-1. It was certainly not the count to throw a curveball that I don't know that I've ever seen an 11-year-old throw a curveball for a strike. So 3-1. Runner on second. That is on the outside corner for a strike. Okay, looked like it was in the batter's box, but left-handed batter's box, but strike two, full count. Pitcher comes set, he's thrown back to second for the third time. Travis has not a huge lead. Pitcher comes set, here's the pitch. Kelby hits that one up the middle, shortstop over. The first one he's fielded cleanly today, makes the throw, and gets the second out of the inning. Runner advances to third on the play, and that brings up Will the Thrill Hall. These boys aren't really paying attention to much other than what their immediate job is. Just going to leave it at that. Will gets in his wide stance. Here's the pitch. Curveball is in there for a strike. So right after I say 11-year-olds don't throw curveballs for a strike, this kid proved me wrong. Chance of home run hitter come from the dugout. Here's the pitch. It's outside, ball one. I think the chance of home run hitter are intended to intimidate. I'm not really sure. That's what I think, though. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Outside. Ball two. So I don't know if he's got a curveball count on the day, but that is 3 this inning. 2 this at bat. I don't think he'll throw it again, but you never know. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 2. 2-2 count. He's looking for a curveball here. I think he's going to throw it. No, fastball. It's in the dirt, gets to the screen, bounces all the way back to the pitcher. Travis very astutely does not try to score. Backstops are short here, folks. They're also cinder blocks. So the ball's going to bounce real hard. Going to have to get it kicking down the first or third base line to have a chance of scoring on a pass ball. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So the Pirates score 1 run on 1 hit. They leave 1 man stranded. We head into the top of the second inning. Pirates lead 1-0. Parker's making his way out to the mound. He only threw 11 pitches last inning, so probably going to go at least a fair amount this inning. We'll see what Ben's game plan is for today. Like I said, I wasn't here last week, so I didn't see what they did last weekend as far as pitching goes. He had been most of the season throwing the boys 1 inning at a time on Saturdays, working through a lot of pitchers. See if, obviously he's not doing that right now, but I'm sure Parker's going to be on a pretty short pitch count. All right, defensively for the Pirates, Parker's on the mound. Coach Britton's catching right now. I don't think he'll stay out there. Will's at third, Brenner's at short, Kelby's at second, Preston's at first, Clint is in right, Henry is in center, and Luke is in left. Second inning is going to be brought to us by Bott's Title Company. If you're buying a house in Sealy, or anywhere east of San Antonio, call Bots for all your title work needs. I'm telling you, folks, if you got a business and you want to advertise, KNOW is the place to do it. We've got at least 20 viewers every other weekend, and you've got the voice of the Pirates talking as much as you want them to about your business. So still looking for sponsors. It's a good opportunity. Any of you business owners out there, let us know. You can call our marketing department, or you can just text me directly. Let's see what all has happened since I've been gone. I can breathe for the first time. I know some of you know that. That's a song lyric. First one to answer the song lyric to my phone, or who the artist, if you want to call the person that. Here's the pitch. Fouled off the end of the bat for strike one. First person to name the, quote, artist who sings that song, you win a prize. I don't know what the prize is going to be, but you get a prize. See how close people are actually listening. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike two. Parker quickly ahead 0-2. We're going to talk through some other sports. The NBA Finals, Pacers lead the Thunder 1-0. That's outside for ball one. Parker comes set. Here's the pitch upstairs. Sorry, folks. So NBA Finals-wise, Pacers lead the Thunder 1-0. Game 2 is tomorrow night in Oklahoma City. Here's the pitch. Foul back. Hitter able to stay alive. For any of you NBA fans out there, I don't think it's the series that the NBA was hoping for. Two Midwest teams, middle market teams, but it should be a good series nonetheless. That's hit out into center field. Henry coming in, unable to get there. That one drops for a base hit. So runner on first base, which is typically a good thing when Parker's on the mound. Bad move, got him. Runner takes off first move. Throw is not in time, though, from Preston to Brenner, and the runner advances to second base. Parker comes set, takes a look at the runner on second. That one's hit right back to Parker. He fields it, throws it to second for a double play. Fantastic play there by Parker. So check swing, hard line drive. The kid checked his swing, but he still hit it hard right back at Parker. Parker caught it and then quickly turned around. Brenner was breaking to second base. Parker fired a strike. We got 2 outs. Here's the pitch upstairs, ball one. Here's the pitch. That one's hit into center field. Henry coming in, just softly hit balls into center field. So another base hit. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to look at stuff to talk about. Parker comes set, throws over, picks him off. Well, just like that, Parker gets 3 outs in the inning. So good job, Parker. All right, folks. We're going to try and give you some score updates. The only score update I'm really going to care about is my Razorbacks. We're playing Tennessee today, so I'm going to be running YouTube TV in the background. See if I can't give you guys some updates on that. It's really the only game that I care about. Auburn's playing Coastal Carolina. Looks like Auburn and Coastal Carolina are tied at 1. The U.S. men's soccer team is playing Turkey. Sorry, trying to find the Razorbacks. All right, I got it, folks. We're live with Razorback Sports. We are tied at 0 in the top of the second inning. So, Hogs and Volunteers tied at 0. Coming to you live from Fayetteville. Well, I'm not live from Fayetteville. I'm live from East San Antonio. But if you are watching the Razorback game, it is coming to you live from Fayetteville. So, 0-0. We'll keep you updated on the score. All right, folks, here we go. Luke Lunar Landers is up. Pitcher's working out of the windup. Luke hits that one hard and fair on the base. That one hit the base, folks. Left field doing a good job getting over there, getting the ball back in. So holding Luke to a single, but good piece of hitting. Luke, first pitch swinging, hits it hard down the third base line. It hit the bag. That brings up Clint, a.k.a. Clinto Bean. He's standing at the very front of the batter's box. Luke gets his lead. Pitcher takes a long look in. Takes a look over at Luke on first. Clint squares around. Throw. Back to first base is not in time. Pitcher comes set. Takes a look over. Here's the pitch. Luke, delayed steal. Oh, all right. So the delayed steal and bunt was on. That was bunted foul. Clint hits that one to the right side. Nobody there. Probably going to be a base hit. Nope. Second baseman did a great job of, as he was breaking to the base, change direction, and Clint hit that one off the end of the bat. He was out in front of it, but second baseman able to get there. It looked like he wasn't going to get there in time. Clint hustling down, but first out of the inning. So Luke advances to second on the play. That brings up Henry Poole. Sockgate 2025 still in full effect. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner for strike one. Pitcher comes set. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Hit him. So Henry Didn't even flinch, just took that right in the foot like a boss. Could have at least acted like it hurt and limped down to first base, but it hit him right in the heel. Definitely did not hurt. Curveball. All right. Newsflash, folks. Preston has new batting gloves. I don't know if those were being used last weekend or not. Here's the pitch. It's on the outside corner for strike one. My guess is he finally got a shoe deal, and it came with a pair of matching batting gloves. So he's still the lumberjack in my mind, but he's got a pair of black batting gloves instead of his patented yellow batting gloves. Gold, if you will. Still wearing arm sleeve on the incorrect arm, but it looks good on him. Pitcher comes set. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball one. Luke's on second. Henry's on first. One out here in the bottom of the second inning. Pirates lead 1-0. One out. Preston Chisholm, a.k.a. the Lumberjack, is at the plate. He's looking to chop some wood. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Preston hits that one hard, but tailing foul down the left field line. Preston trying to go with that pitch. Did a good job, just couldn't keep it fair. So, 2 strikes. Be looking for a curveball, folks. Actually, y'all don't really care what pitch comes, but Preston should be looking for a curveball because that's probably what's coming. If I was an 11-year-old at this point, I'd probably throw a fastball, try and sneak it past him. Actually, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't have thought through baseball that much. But 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. So, me and the pitcher were on the same wavelength. Threw a fastball there. Here's the pitch. That was in there for a called strike 3. All right, well, interesting. Did not look like a strike, but we've gotten a couple that didn't look like strikes either. So 2 outs, runners on first and second. Dash is at the plate. Dash is standing right in the middle of the batter's box. Throw back to second base is not in time. In there for a ball. One-zero count, 2 outs, runners on first and second. There's a giant hole on the right side of the infield. Throw back to second base, not in time. Robert trying to get the ump to look and see that kid was balking. I wasn't paying that much attention. I was going to try and give you guys a score update because the pitcher's taking a long time out there. Pitcher comes set. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. Ball 2. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner. Strike 1.
Shepard, bring him in.
Here's the pitch. Dash fouls that one back. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the second inning. That's a lot of twos, folks, if you're keeping track at home. Dash looking to get 2 RBIs here. 1 more, 2. Here's the pitch. Dash hits that one high out into right field. Right fielder gets under it and makes the catch. Wasn't so sure he was going to make that catch, but he does. So the Pirates score no runs on 1 hit. They leave 2 men stranded. We head into the top of the 3rd inning. Pirates 1, Kingwood Express 0. Score update on the Razorbacks Volunteers game, because I know all of y'all care about that game tremendously. Still tied at 0 in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Hogs have a runner on first base with nobody out. All right, Parker makes his way back out to the mound. Threw a knuckleball in warm-ups there. I like seeing that. Hopefully he throws that in game. Well, it looks like they got some good stuff at the concession stand, folks. We got Frito chili pie and ice cream sandwiches at the very least. So if you're looking to eat healthy, come on out to East San Antonio. Loaded Frito chili pie, we've been told. Oh, sorry, the concession stand is loaded. We'll get a review on these 2 healthy choices here in a minute. See if we got some unhealthy stuff over there too. Last time we were out here, which was about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, the last time I made it to East San Antonio, they had street tacos. Some guy had his griddle fired up, his Blackstone fired up. He was cooking street tacos. They were very, very tasty. All right, defensively for the Pirates, Parker's on the mound. Travis is at 3rd, Brenner's at short, Luke's at 2nd, Preston's at 1st, Kelby's in right, Henry's in center, Will is in left. And it's still 112 degrees. Dash is behind the plate. Today's one of those days where you don't want to be a catcher because it's hot. So we've had a different catcher each inning, which is good. Ben's just trying to make sure that none of these boys get overheated. It's real hot. Hogs have runners on 1st and 2nd, nobody out, bottom of the 2nd inning. Case. Still 0-0. Hogs looking to make it back to Omaha. I don't think they made it last year. The worst year in Razorback baseball ever was I just remember how terrible it was. All right, here we go. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 1. We'll kind of tell you the story as we go here because Parker works quick. Whatever year it was, doesn't matter. The Hogs were facing the Oregon State Beavers. They were ahead 1-0. Here's the pitch. 2 outs. I think the hitter had a 1-2 count. He had a lazy pop fly foul. Here's the pitch. That's hit hard, but right at Brenner, who snags it. He kind of jumped out of the way, but he still made the catch. So one little bit behind first base. The first baseman, the second baseman, and the right fielder all converged. Nobody ran into each other, and nobody caught the ball either. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs for ball 1. So I remember watching it, and my wife was there with me, and I looked at her. I said, "You blow this, and they're going to lose the." Long story short, because I know all of you are Hogs fans, but you would prefer a short story. The Hogs did go on to lose that entire College World Series. Here's the pitch. Hit softly to Parker. He jumps, catches it, makes the 2nd out of the inning. Thinks about throwing it around the horn, but decides not to. So 2 quick outs for the Pirates. 2 good plays. Brenner catching the line drive that I'm not sure he actually saw. And Parker making a leaping. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Strike 1. Leaping. He kind of looked like a gazelle leaping there and grabbing it. It's a good play. Just giving Parker a hard time. It was a really good play. Outside, ball 1. It's in the dirt for ball 2. Parker comes set. Here's the pitch. It's in there for strike 2. Here's the pitch.
Are you gonna adjust, Devin? Think about it.
Parker comes set. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. Full count, 2 outs, top of the 3rd inning. Foul ball. Barely stayed alive. Good job there, though, by the hitter staying alive. The pitch. Hit hard at Travis. Gets passing out into left field. That was a hard hit ball. Got a short hop there. It was going to be a tough play no matter what. Ben's making his way out to the mound. See if he makes a change. Doesn't look like he's going to make a change. All right, folks, 2 outs, runner on first base. Parker's already picked 2 kids off. One of them was safe. Throw over to first base, not in time. That wasn't Parker's good move, though.
Runner on first, Ash.
All right, Ben making his way out. We are going to have a pitching change. And Henry and Parker are going to switch positions. We'll have a short break in the action, folks. Should have brought some sunflower seeds out here. This is like one of the few complexes where you can still eat sunflower seeds. But I forgot to bring any. So Henry's going to be pitching. No other defensive changes, just Henry and Parker switching positions.
Go, Henry. All right, Henry, you got this, buddy.
Score update, Hogs lead 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. They got a runner on 3rd and 2 outs. So Hogs lead 1-0. If you're not a fan of college baseball, just tune out when I give you score updates. I love college baseball, though. I think my favorite part about it is they're basically like 11U baseball. They're just better, but they still make the same dumb mistakes that 11-year-olds make. Let me clarify. I'm not saying that college baseball players are not good. They're very, very talented. They just make boneheaded mistakes just like 11-year-olds do, and it's fun to watch. That's what makes college baseball fun to watch. Now we're about to get back in the action, folks. Henry socks still don't fit, but that was a problem that started at the beginning of the season, and it's not going to be ending until next season. Henry comes set. Here's the pitch. It's hit hard in the hole between short and third for a base hit. So first pitch swinging. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. Runner's got a gigantic lead off of second base, but I don't think he's going to steal. If he does, pretty confident Dash will be able to throw him out. Henry steps off, gets the runner to go back to second. Henry comes set. Here's the pitch. Look good, but I guess a little bit low for ball 2. Two-0. Runners on second and third. 2 outs. Top of the third inning. Pirates lead 1-0. Henry steps off. Here's the pitch. Down low for ball 3. So Henry falls behind 3-0. Here's the pitch. It's in there for strike 1. 3-1 count. Henry took a little bit off of that one to make sure he threw a strike. See if he can't come all the way back and get this kid. Henry steps off. Well, runners on second base have been messing with the pitchers today, folks. I don't know what it is, but they don't have very big leads, but messing with the pitchers. Henry comes set, takes a deep breath. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 4. So bases loaded, 2 outs. Catcher's up. Henry looking to get a big third out here. Good advice there from a parent, swinging at strikes. Here's the pitch. Henry throws that in the dirt, ball 1. Henry comes set. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner for strike 1. Softball chance coming out of the Kingwood dugout as well, so not sure if we're playing softball or baseball. One. Here's a pitch. Change-up hit to Brenner at short. He fields it, makes the throw to Luke at second, and gets the third out of the inning. So good job there by Henry, giving up a walk, but coming back and getting the third out. Great play there by Brenner. We move into the bottom of the third inning. Pirates lead 1-0. Third inning is brought to you by AL&M Building Supply. They are the best in Sealy. They might be the only in Sealy as well. It's not a very big place. Can't imagine there's too many building supply stores in Sealy, but A&M is the best. If you're building a house in Sealy or anywhere in East San Antonio, give AL&M a call. You can also visit their website at almtexas.com. I do like this park out here in East San Antonio, though. It doesn't cost anything to get in. It does cost you $9 in tolls to get down here. So you want to get down here as quick as possible. You take the, well, it's not the Hardy. Sorry, I was going to say the Hardy. It's not the Hardy. You take 99. It only costs $9 in tolls to get down here. But hey, I didn't have to pay to get in. That is a big time win. More on principle than on actual cost. I don't think you should have to pay to watch youth baseball. If you haven't figured that out by now, you probably haven't been listening to our broadcast. There's a lot wrong with youth baseball. That's one of them. I've decided to. I may not be so subtle in my comments. We'll see. We got a big tournament coming up in 2 weeks. We're going to be in Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri. And I'm going to have to fill a lot of airtime. So I may just be pretty direct in what I think. But for now, I'm going to be indirect. We're going to Lake of the Ozarks. It's great playing in tournaments. It's a World Series tournament. All you got to do is pay to get in, but it's a World Series nonetheless. Lots of countries are involved in this World Series. In fact, half the teams are from the north side of Houston, so that's good. We're driving 12 hours to play kids that are from the north side of town, about 20 minutes away. Here's the first pitch to Brenner. Brenner fouls that one off for strike one. Oh, 1 count to Brenner. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball one.
Stay in there. Come on.
Here's the pitch. Inside for ball two.
Come on, man. Wear it. All right, get your pitch.
Brenner hits that one hard. First baseman broke the wrong way. Sorry, folks. I got to say it. I call it like I see it. That pitch, Brenner hit that very hard, but he hit it maybe a foot to the right of the first baseman, and the first baseman looked at it, and instead of trying to go for the ball, he moved to the left back to first base. So, interesting play there. Brenner with a base hit. That brings up Parker. Parker. It was an amazing hit. For all you Brenner fans out there, it was an amazing hit. Now, he really did hit the ball hard. It was just funny to see the first baseman move the wrong direction. Here's the pitch. Brenner takes off. Parker bunts that one foul. Parker's going to be safe if he can get one down the third base line fair. The third baseman doesn't move really until the ball hits the screen, at least the last 2 times Parker's bunted it.
Go PG.
Here's the pitch. Brenner takes off. Parker squares around. That's a great bunt, but foul. Really good bunt there, but just rolled foul as the third baseman fielded it.
All right, Parker, 2 strike hitter, buddy. You got it.
0-2 count to Parker. Look for a curveball, folks. I'm just calling it. You heard it here first. Look for an 0-2 curveball. He did throw one for a strike earlier against Will. Nope, fastball. Parker fouls that one.
Stay alive. Stay alive.
Into the screen to stay alive.
You're in control, buddy.
Brenner gets his lead. Pitcher takes a look over. Here's the pitch. Brenner takes off. Parker hits that one hard up the middle, though.
He's safe! Yeah!
Safe at second and safe at first. Great job for Brenner running on the play. They're unable to make the out at second base. They were trying to turn two. Unable to make the out at second. Unable to make the out at first. So 2 on, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the third inning. Pitcher comes set. Travis hits that one hard to the left side. Shortstop fields it, throws it to second, out at second, safe at first. I think Coach Robert got us that call. I was kind of behind someone. I had to make my way over to the dugout to give Henry a Gatorade. But I couldn't tell if he was out or safe. But Coach Robert made the safe sign, and we got the call. 1 out, runners on the corners. KP Kelby Pittman at the plate. Throw over third baseman. Brenner is going to score, and Travis is going to advance to second. So pickoff move doesn't work for the pitcher there. Throws it over the third baseman's head, and Brenner scores. Pirates lead 2-0. Meeting on the mound. Not a meeting of the minds, just a meeting on the mound. The coach is out there giving some encouragement, or possibly just saying, hey, look, if you throw more strikes than balls, we got a better likelihood of winning this game. I don't really know what he's saying. That's what I imagine all other coaches to say. Just things that aren't really helpful. Because I hear so many things that aren't helpful from coaches and parents. We'll see. Kelby is at the plate. Travis is on second base. He's got a pretty good lead on second. I like seeing that healthy lead right there. Pitcher comes set. Here's the pitch. Kelby squares around a bunt. It's on the outside corner for strike one. Pitcher comes set. Travis gets his lead. Pitcher throws back to second. Good job there by Travis getting in safely. He's got a big, healthy lead. I like seeing it. There's a kid playing basketball on the blacktop that's behind center field. I'll tell you what, folks, he's tougher than I am. There's 0% chance I'd be playing basketball on an outdoor, uncovered court today. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike two. So Kelby behind in the count 0-2. Travis is on second base, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball one. There's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike three. So Kelby goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. That brings up Will the Thrill Hall. 2 outs. Travis is on second. Pirates have scored 1 run so far. They lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. Brenner has scored both runs on the day. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Started Will off with a curveball last at bat, too. That one was a ball. I like Will's stance. It's wide. He's hit 2 homers this season. Here's the pitch. He hits that one hard to the third baseman. He knocks the third baseman's glove off. He hit it so hard, folks, he knocked the third baseman's glove off. He was out.
That's okay, we got one. Okay, Will. All right, we got one. Oh, catcher's interference.
All right, we got a call of catcher's interference. Will is going to be safe at first. He hit it so hard, he hit the catcher's glove, and he knocked the third baseman's glove off. So, how about it, folks? Will knocks 2 gloves off in 1 at bat. 1 swing of the bat knocks 2 gloves off. I didn't see it. I was looking at the ball. I didn't see the catcher's interference, but I'll trust Coach Robert. Yeah, we'll check the YouTube. We got our. We're gonna go to the review booth here. We're actually going back to the Woodlands for this call. Oh, we got 3 umpires now, folks. Here's the pitch. Luke pops that one foul and out of play. 0-1 count to Luke. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Still the bottom of the third inning. Pirates lead 2-0. Looking to add to that lead here. Luke Lunar Landers. Here's the pitch. Luke pops that one foul and out of play. So he's down 0-2. So the review was inconclusive. The call stands. Well, actually, the call was overturned. So I guess our review was inconclusive, but in their minds, it was very conclusive that it was overturned. Here's the pitch. That's upstairs for ball 1. Luke's still behind in the count, 1-2. He's going to be looking to hit something hard here. Still a pretty big hole on the right side of the infield. Here's the pitch. Luke hits that one hard up the middle. That's going to get down for base hit. Should score a run. It will. Travis scores. Good piece of hitting there by Luke. 2 strikes, and he hits one hard up the middle. That brings up Clint, a.k.a. Clinto Bean. Pitcher comes set. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. Ball 1. Wind is still blowing in, folks. Now it's blowing in kind of from right field. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. Ball 2. That one gets past the catcher. Runners are going to advance. So runners now on second and third, 2 outs, 2-0 count to Clint.
All right, Clint, you got this.
Pitcher comes set. Here's the pitch. Upstairs to the screen. Bounces down the third baseline, but Will not advancing on the play. 3-0 count. Rio, runners on second and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the third inning, Pirates lead 3-0. We'll give you a Razorback update here in the middle of this inning. Here's the pitch. Sorry, as we move into the top of the fourth inning. Good cut there by Clint. Just missed it, fouled it back for strike one. 3-1 count to Clinto Bean. Here's the pitch. All right, lots of confusion here, folks. Parents are getting frustrated on the Kingwood side, you know, because 11U baseball is really important. So Clint's got a full count. I did hit off the knob of the bat. Clint fouls that one to stay alive. Might get a car. Nope. That would have been the first car of these Pirates. It was close. So that pitch did hit off the knob of Clint's bat. There was confusion. The umpire told him to go to first base. Clint told him it hit off the end of the bat. It was, anyway. Here's the pitch. It's in there for called strike 3. Clint didn't like it. Looked like it was outside from where I'm sitting. Pirates score 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave 2 men stranded. We head into the top of the fourth inning. Pirates 3, Kingwood Express 0. Kingwood Express parents are still not happy. They're still chattering over there. You know, 11U baseball is super important. You got to make sure that you're winning everything. All right, folks, update on the Razorbacks. They still lead 1-0 in the top of the fourth inning. They're currently interviewing the Tennessee head coach. So if you're interested in that, tune in to that instead of listening to me. I don't know. I think I've got better things to say than him, but that's just me.
Since he wasn't swinging, should have been a hit by pitch.
All right, so we got some clarification from our rules expert here. The official rule is if the ball hits the batter's hand and he is not swinging, it's a hit by a pitch. If he is swinging, it's a foul ball. So I guess the question there would then be, did Clint get hit in the hand? I thought it hit the knob of the bat. Our rules expert thinks that it hit his hand. So we may go to our replay crew. See, I don't know. We don't have a great angle on it, though. We only have one camera here at KNOW. Again, looking for sponsors. Anybody who wants to sponsor, we will take your money gladly. We're now getting feedback from the other team, too. So lots of controversy here, folks. Lots of controversy. We're going to call it Hit by a Pitchgate 2025. All right, folks. Here we go, folks. Getting back in the action. Henry's on the mound. Dashes at third. Brenner's at short. Clint's at second. Preston's at first. Luke's behind the plate. Henry's working out of the windup. Change up. Foul ball, strike one. Let's see. Travis is in left. Parker is in center. And Kelby, whose future is exceedingly bright, is in right. Henry's still working on the windup. Here's the pitch. Down low. Ball one. So back-to-back change-ups there. Thrown by Henry. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs for ball two. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball three. So Henry falls behind after getting ahead 0-1, falls behind 3-1. Going to be looking to come all the way back here. Here's the pitch. Hits softly to Brenner at short. He fields it, throws it, and gets the first out of the inning. So softly hit ball. Brenner doing a great job there. And the boys are 1 for 2 on the day, throwing it around the horn. Brenner doing a great job charging that and throwing a strike to first base. 1 out. Look for a bunt here, folks. At least a fake bunt, if nothing else. There's the bunt. Told you. Henry slips, fields it, throws it. Got him out. Great play there by Henry. So he slipped coming off the mound, able to regain his composure, fields it barehanded, throws a strike to first base to get the second out of the inning. I'm also mildly impressed with myself in telling you to look for the bunt before it happened. Henry's still working out of the windup. Here's the pitch. It's outside. I can't take all the credit. I happened to look at the third base coach as he was giving the sign, and he touched his belt, which is typically, at least at this age, a sign for a bunt. So here's the pitch. Down low for ball two. They also need base runners, so they're just looking to get anything going. I put 2 and 2 together and predicted it. You're welcome, viewing audience. You're welcome. Here's the pitch. It's outside. Ball three. So Henry quickly behind 3-0. He's going to need to work all the way back here. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball four. So Henry trying to overthrow the ball. Gives up a 4-pitch, 2-out walk. Not what we love seeing here. But still 2 outs. Here's a pitch. Hit into left center for a base hit. Good play there by Parker trying to get the out at second. Almost got it. Henry hung that changeup up there and the kid hit it. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs for ball one. It's going to be a tough hitter to pitch to because the umpire is not calling anything low in the zone, and this guy is not very tall, so it's going to be a really tight strike zone on this kid. Here's the pitch. In there for strike one. 1-1 count. Henry Henry steps off, looks the runner back to second base. Here's the pitch. It's in there for strike 2. 1-2 count, 2 outs, runners on first and second. Top of the 4th inning. Pirates lead 3-0. Here's the pitch. It's outside for ball 2. Two count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs for ball 3. Full count. Henry takes a look at the runners. They're going to be going on the pitch. That's in there for called strike 3. Luke with the throw down because he dropped it. Preston scoops it, and strike 3. That was way more interesting than it should have been, but we got the out. Kingwood scores no runs on 1 hit. They leave 2 men stranded. We head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Pirates lead 3-0. All right, folks, let's get a score update. And then we got another update that we're going to talk about. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, so let's get a score update, and then we'll go to our other update. Oh, that can't be right. All right, let's see. Hogs still lead 1-0. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 out. Hogs have a runner on first base. So there's your Razorback volunteer update. I'm going to watch this for just a second, folks, see if anything cool happens. While I'm watching, we're going to give you a manhunt update. So in case you have not been following the news of northern Arkansas, which none of you really should be for any real reason, a former chief of police who was convicted of murder and rape, I don't know, a couple years ago maybe. Maybe it's been almost 10 years now. Anyway, he was convicted of both of those crimes. He was serving time in a prison in northern Arkansas. He escaped about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and there was a massive manhunt looking for him. He escaped. He was on the run, on the lam, if you will, for a long time. And they finally caught him yesterday, or maybe 2 days ago. He was only 1.5 miles from the prison, so he hadn't made it very far. But they caught him. He's going back to jail probably for the rest of his life. I don't know. There's some weird parole rules out there. But anyway, that's the manhunt update. Those of you in northern Arkansas can sleep better tonight knowing he's behind bars again. All right, here we go. Henry Poole is up. He's also here. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 1. This is a new pitcher for Kingwood Express. Gavin Lux is on the mound. We're going to have to check his birth certificate because he's supposed to be a major leaguer, but he's playing in 11U baseball. Here's the pitch. It's on the outside corner for strike 1. Henry got a new bat. He's swinging. It's the same bat. It's just a slightly bigger version of the same bat. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 2. 2-1. His mom can't keep up with how fast Henry's growing, so his socks don't fit. Here's the pitch. Henry hits that one hard and fair. That's getting down, rolling into the corner in right field. That's going to be a double. So Henry with a leadoff double hit that one hard right down the first base line. Leadoff double. He indeed put the D in Daryl on that one. I don't even know what that means, but I like it, so I'm going to keep saying it. Brings up Preston, a.k.a. the Lumberjack, still wearing his black batting gloves. Here's the pitch. Preston squares around a bunt. Kind of threw his bat at that one. Strike one. Preston's even smiling on that bunt attempt. I love it. The Lumberjack just likes to chop wood. He doesn't want to bunt. He squares around again, fouls that one back. You know, I'm not going to lie. I was like that when I played. I hated bunting. I really appreciate it now. I think it's a very valuable skill and a very valuable part of baseball that's rarely used, but we'll get back to that in a minute. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Wow, that was amazing, folks. That was actually more amazing than Preston's attempted one-handed bunt. The pitcher spun around, shortstop was not covering, so he fell off of the mound and threw it to the shortstop at his position at shortstop. That was awesome. I hope you saw all that. All right, Preston stands in 0-2. Henry's on second base. Here's the pitch. Preston hits that one hard but foul to the third baseman.
Get up front, Preston.
So back to bunting. Sorry, folks. Too much exciting action happening here in East San Antonio to talk about bunting. Talk about real things like bunting. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. No. That was above the letters, but it's called strike three. So Preston goes down on strikes. Back to bunting. I think bunting is a lost art. I hated it as a kid. And so I would often do what Preston just did. I don't know if Preston did it intentionally or not, but I would often foul off 2 bunts so that I could then swing away. Here's the pitch. Down low. Ball one. Dash is in there. I don't think I called that out first. Dash is up. Runner on second base. 1 out. Pirates lead 3-0. Fake back to second. Henry gets back in time. That kid's still playing basketball out there, folks. He's probably been playing for about 30 minutes. I'm amazed he hasn't melted into the court yet. Here's the pitch. It's on the outside corner for strike one. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Dash hits that one high, but right to the first baseman who gets under it and makes the second out of the inning.
Line drive, Brenner, line drive. Drive it, buddy.
Brings up Brenner. Here's the pitch. That was really, really difficult for Brenner to lay off of that one. But we're glad he did because it was called the ball.
Get your pitch.
Pitcher comes set. Henry gets his lead. Here's the pitch.
That's all right.
That's in there for strike one. Kind of looked like the same pitch to me. Maybe slightly lower, but... Here's the pitch. Brenner hits that one foul down the third baseline. He hit that one off the handle, so he didn't really want it to drop fair because he didn't hit it hard, but now he's going to be looking to hit it hard.
Right on the barrel. Right on the barrel.
1-2 count. Henry's on second base. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs for ball 2. Brenner really wanted to swing at that.
Be ready, though.
But his dad told him if he did, he wasn't getting a ride home tonight. So he held off.
Strikes, buddy.
Here's the pitch. Brenner hits that one hard to the third baseman. He bobbles it, throws it. It's not in time. Henry heads up base running, is going to score. Great job. Great heads up base running there by Henry. He looks tired. I gave him a Gatorade last inning, though, so he should be good. Good job there by Brenner, hustling down the first baseline, picking up the RBI. Brings up Parker. 2 outs you typically don't bunt, but Parker might get a base hit here if he did bunt. Throw is in time, but not caught by the shortstop. So good job there by Brenner getting in. Runner on second base. Parker's got a, I actually don't know if that was a ball or strike, folks. I'm sorry. Swing and a miss. That was a strike.
You get the next one. You're all right.
1-1 count. First pitch was a ball. Still 1-0. Hogs lead the Volunteers. Here's the pitch. That looked high and outside, but called a strike. So Parker down 1-2. We're going to hit something hard. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2.
Go, Parker.
Here's the pitch. Brenner takes off. Parker hits that one foul. Great play there by Coach Ben. He's already got a spot on the over 35 team, though, so we're not going to be looking to try him out because he's already on the team. Parker doing a good job staying alive. Here's the pitch. It's outside. Ball 2. Oh, sorry, ball 3. Full count. 2 outs. Brenner's on second base. The Pirates have scored 1 run so far. Here's the pitch. Brenner running on the pitch. Parker fouls that one off. Stay alive.
Go, Parker.
Here's the pitch. Fouled off again. So Parker having a great at bat.
We're going, PG.
It's outside for ball 4. So great at bat there by Parker. He was behind in the count 1-2 and fouled off, I think, 3 pitches with 2 strikes, able to earn a 2-out walk. Great at bat. That brings up Travis, a.k.a. the Rock Jock. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Pitcher looks the runner on second back, looks Brenner. He's on second base.
Go,
Looks him
son,
back.
Brenner. Let's go.
Here's the pitch. Steal is on.
Go!
Throw hits Brenner.
Good hustle.
So Brenner was safe. If the throw hadn't hit him, he probably would have scored, but it hit him, so he didn't score.
All right, Travis, bring him in, buddy.
He's in there for a strike.
Got two.
Runners on second and third, 2 outs. Travis looking to hit something hard. Here's the pitch. Outside.
All right, get your pitch.
Here's the pitch. Travis fouls that one down the third base line.
All right, buddy, you got it.
1-2 count. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning, Pirates lead 4-0. Here's the pitch. Curveball. Hung. Out. Sorry. My tongue got tied. So Travis popped it up to the second baseman. Second baseman and first baseman almost ran into each other. They didn't. So second baseman catches it. Third out of the inning. Pirates score 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 2 men stranded. We head into the top of the 5th. Pirates lead 4-0. All right, folks, we got some defensive changes here. Travis is making his way out to the mound. Luke's behind the plate. Henry's at third. Dash is at short. Clint's at second. And Preston's at first. Will's in right. Brenner is in center. Kelby is in left. Let's get a score update, folks. Well, the Volunteers have scored 2 runs. They lead 2-1 in the top of the 5th inning. 2-run homer coming from our stat team telling us about it. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, folks, we got a gap between games. So we're going to be looking for somewhere to go eat.
That's the important stuff.
That is the important stuff. Well, we got to give you guys a food review. Probably going to go to Kroshik's. I forgot that that's out here. It's either there or Lucy's Pie House and Grill. First review that comes up says, worth the trip to Sealy. So we're going to check that out, see what we, I'm not going to check it out. I'm saying I'm going to read about it. We might go to Lucy's Pie House and Grill. First pitch is in there for ball 1. I don't know that we're going to have time for that, folks. Here's the pitch. Fouled off for strike 1. Fouled off of Luke and the umpire. It looks like Lucy's has great burgers. They look very healthy. Three-one count. Travis is working out of the windup. Here's the pitch. Yes, he did. That's strike 2.
Go T-Rab, one more.
Here's the pitch. Down low for ball 3. I thought it was ball 2 earlier. The umpire called it 3-1, but now he's calling a full count. So here we go. Full count. Full house. Fouled off. Preston attempting. Nope. He went for the rebound, but didn't quite get there. Good job, Preston.
Keep going, Travis.
Here's the pitch. Fouled off. It's a good pitch. I don't know. We might be going to Lucy's, folks. Here's the pitch. That's upstairs for ball 4. So good at bat there by the, his last name is Zerface. All right, runner on first base, nobody out. Here's Travis comes set. Here's the pitch. Fouled off for strike 1. Travis comes set. Here's the pitch. It's on the inside corner. Luke faked the throw down. Didn't quite hold on to the ball. Thankfully, it rolled out to Travis. Travis takes a look in. Here's the pitch. That's hit high and deep into center. Brenner making his way back. Gets over his head and bounces to the wall. Great job by Brenner getting that ball in quickly to save a run. That's a good piece of hitting there by Gavin Lux. It's kind of not fair because he's a big leaguer, but that's okay. Runners on second and third, nobody out. Changeup is hit out into shallow right center. Brenner makes an attempt, diving attempt, but unable to come up with it. I thought he caught it, folks, but as he rolled over, ball popped out of his glove. So great attempt there by Brenner. So nobody out, runners on first and second. Pirates lead 4-1. Travis comes set. Good throw back to second base. Travis comes set, he steps off. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. Throw down. Almost in time. So runners on second and third, nobody out. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs. Ball 2. hit softly into right center. Clint going back, unable to make the play, and another run's going to score. Ben makes his way out to the mound. He's going to just try and calm everyone down. Pirates still lead 4-2. Game has certainly gotten interesting. Score update, Razorbacks lead. They just hit a home run. I believe it was a 2-run homer. So Hogs just hit a 2-run homer. They are leading the Volunteers by a run. All right, Coach Ben got everything sorted out. Everybody's calmed down. We're going to get 3 quick outs here. Runners on the corners. Nobody out. Pirates lead by 2 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And the runner tries stealing, gets tagged in the face, and he is out. So good job there by Travis, stepping off, throwing a strike to Luke. Luke tagged the runner in the face, which is obviously the best place to tag him. Here's the pitch upstairs, ball 1. That was awesome, folks. Caught stealing at home. Love that. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 2. I'm going to second guess the coach on that. That feels like a bad call by the coach. You've got runners on second and third, nobody out. You're only trailing by 2. Travis would throw back to second. Not in time. Clint unable to handle it, but Dash is there backing up. Pirates need to get 2 outs here real quick. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Travis looks in, becomes set. Here's the pitch. Fouled off for strike 2. So Travis quickly gets 2 strikes after being down 2-0. Count is even at 2-2. 1 out, runner on second base. Top of the 5th inning, Pirates lead 4-2. Here's the pitch. Hit softly back to Travis. He fields it, throws it, and gets the second out of the inning. Runner advances to third on the play. Pirates have 2 outs. They need this last out to get the win. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs, gets to the screen. Luke stops it on the bounce back. Runner does not advance. Travis comes set. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. So Travis gets behind in the count 3-0. He's going to be looking to work back here. Doesn't want to give up a 2-out walk. Runner on third does not matter at this point. That's in there for strike 1. Here's the pitch. Change up. Hit softly to Dash it short. He fields it, fires it over Preston's head. And runner is safe at second base. So could have been the third out. Instead, Pirates make it interesting. 4-3. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike one. Travis comes set. Here's the pitch. So upstairs for ball one. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, throw down. Pulls Henry off the bag. Runner is safe at third. Two balls, one strike. Runner on third base, 2 outs. It's getting exciting, folks. This doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. Here's the pitch. Popped up and out of play for strike two. Might hit a car. Nope, hits the road. Here's the pitch. Hit softly. Dash back underneath it. Makes the diving catch. Great job there by Dash, redeeming himself after that throw. Makes a catch going into shallow center field. And that, folks, is the ball game. Pirates win 4-3. We'll be back at you in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. Next game is at 8 o'clock. We'll see you then.